Imagine sitting across from your boss, a woman fresh from Harvard with her perfect suit and spreadsheets telling you your 15 years of loyalty mean nothing, that your pay is getting slashed by 40% and you're just a relic. But what if instead of begging or raging, you walked out with a calm smile, knowing you held the keys to their entire empire? Stick around, because this story of sweet calculated revenge will have you cheering by the end. If you've ever been undervalued at work or dreamed of turning the tables on someone who dismissed you, hit that like button right now, subscribe for more epic revenge tales, and let's dive into one of the most satisfying corporate comeuppances you'll ever hear. Our story begins in the heart of Austin, Texas, at Tri-Block Woodworks, a company that supplies commercial millworks, think custom wood finishes for big buildings. Our protagonist, Jeffrey Maddox, is 52, with that distinguished salt and pepper hair that started graying in his 30s. For 15 long years, has been the senior vice president of sales. But don't let the title fool you. Jeffrey wasn't just pushing products, he was the lifeblood of the company. He personally handled the top 10 accounts, bringing in over $12 million a year. These weren't cold transactions, they were deep relationships forged over countless dinners, golf games, and late-night problem-solving calls. He knew his clients' kids' names, their vacation spots, even their golf handicaps. When something went wrong, they called Jeffrey first, not their own teams. Picture this Jeffrey in his office, surrounded by sales reports from the last decade. His hands steady, but his mind racing. He'd built this sales department from the ground up. Back in 2010, when he joined Tri-Block, was a small regional player doing just $8 million in sales. Under his watch, it exploded to $73 million. His father, a cabinet maker in Dallas, had taught him everything about wood and craftsmanship by age 16. After college, Jeffrey bounced around sales jobs until Tri-Block, where it all clicked. He could geek out on technical details with architects 1 minute and negotiate pricing with buyers the next. The original owner, Oliver Wright, saw his potential. "You're not selling products, you're selling trust," had say. And Jeffrey lived by that, hiring young reps and teaching them that relationships trump transactions every time. But then came the acquisition. Driftmore Labs bought Tri-Block and everything shifted. Small changes at first, tighter travel budgets, endless approvals for client dinners. Jeffrey's weekly executive meetings turned monthly then, as needed. He felt the squeeze, but brushed it off as business as usual. That is until Vanessa Claymore arrived 3 months ago. She's the new sales director, armed with a Harvard MBA, designer suits, and a love for spreadsheets. From day one, she analyzed everything, holding secret meetings with the new execs. Jeffrey could see it in her eyes when she looked at him. Expensive old-schooler dinosaur who should be grateful to still have a desk. The tension built slowly, like a storm gathering. Vanessa started scheduling calls with Jeffrey's key accounts without inviting him. She questioned his long-standing discounts, the ones that kept clients loyal through price hikes. She even brought in her old colleagues as new managers, suggesting the team needed fresh perspectives. Jeffrey's gut twisted each time, but he stayed professional. Then, during a budget review, his old friend Thomas, the CFO, whispered a warning. They're eyeing the sales comp structure, especially legacy deals. Jeffrey was the last legacy left. A week later, he spotted Vanessa at lunch with Gabriella, his newest hire. They were huddled, whispering intensely. When they saw him, Gabriella stared at her plate like she'd been caught stealing. Vanessa waved casually, just getting to know the team. Gabriella mumbled later, avoiding his eyes. That night, Jeffrey sat in his home office, heart pounding as he stared at those sales reports. 15 years of growth loyalty, everything had poured his soul into. His phone buzzed a text from Frank Donnelly at Western Commercial, their biggest account. Rumors of big changes. Everything okay? Call me. Jeffrey poured a bourbon, the amber liquid burning his throat, as he dialed. Frank answered, voice laced with concern. What the hell is going on? I got a call from some woman saying she's taking over. Vanessa. Jeffrey replied neutrally. Frank's tone hardened. She's talking price reviews and new systems. We have a contract, Jeffrey. Are you staying? Because if not, we need to talk. In that moment, it hit Jeffrey like a freight train. His value wasn't in titles or numbers, it was in trust. 15 years of it, ready to walk out the door. But here's where it gets juicy. Stay with me, because you won't believe what happens next.
The next day, more calls flooded in from clients, all rattled by Vanessa's outreach. Jeffrey drove to the office one last time to clear his desk. Thomas slipped him a paper with client retention stats and spend numbers. A silent nod between old friends. Jeffrey resigned that afternoon, emailed a contact at Pinnacle Supply Group, a competitor, and checked his non-compete with a lawyer. It barred selling millworks for 6 months, but said nothing about clients or relationships. He didn't rage or plot wildly. No, his revenge brewed quietly, powered by focus, not fury. There's power in being underestimated, he thought as he explored options. 2 weeks later, he accepted a role at Pinnacle SVP of Business Development with full autonomy to build his division. We want your expertise, Daniel, his new boss said. No reinventing the wheel. Jeffrey offered to stay 2 weeks for a smooth handoff, but Vanessa shut him down coolly. We've got your CRM notes. Your approach was old-fashioned anyway. We're going data-driven. Her words stung like salt in a wound, but Jeffrey stayed calm. 3 days later, over lunch with Frank, the complaints poured out. Surveys, metrics, impersonal nonsense. Where are you heading? Frank asked. Pinnacle, Jeffrey said, sipping water. Frank slid his card. Call me when you're settled. Then a legal letter arrived from Triblick reminding him of obligations, listing his accounts. Jeffrey forwarded it to his layer unfazed. Calls kept coming from clients like Harold at Northwell, fuming over changed terms. I'm no longer at Triblick, Jeffrey said. Harold pressed. Pinnacle handles similar stuff. Good. Call me Monday. By week's end, 5 clients reached out unsolicited. Jeffrey hadn't poached, they sought him, drawn by the disruption Vanessa caused. On his last day, Vanessa called, voice tight. We consider those relationships proprietary. Any redirection is a breach. Jeffrey replied, evenly understanding his obligations. She snapped about legal battles, revealing her fear. She was starting to see the monster shed unleashed. His first day at Pinnacle, Daniel admitted they tried cracking Trilok's market for years without luck. Your secrets, relationships, Jeffrey explained. Vanessa sees them as inefficient. Before he could say more, Thomas messaged to meet secretly. At a dim bar, Thomas slid a folder Vanessa's board presentation. It showed Jeffrey's accounts worth $17.3 million, not 12, nearly 24% of revenue. They never told you, Thomas whispered. And now she's missing forecasts, planning price hikes, auditing your expenses to blame you if clients. Bolt. Jeffrey's blood boiled, not from anger but clarity. They undervalued him for years, using his trust to line pockets, planning to squeeze more once he was gone. As Thomas left, he muttered, I'm job hunting too. 2 months in at Pinnacle, the dominoes fell. Harold called, pulse price hike. Can you match we did with extras? Then others followed, complaints of hikes, rigid policies, soulless service. 4 top accounts switched flawlessly. Word spread Jeffrey Maddox means reliability, then Vanessa called, panicked. This has to stop. Poaching? I haven't solicited anyone, Jeffrey said, stirring coffee at their meet. For accounts gone, all naming you? Clients decide. She threatened legal, then offered deals. Consulting finder's fees. Jeffrey stood. I'm just doing my job well. The next day, Frank called. Contracts up for bid. Vanessa's desperate, offering price beats. But I need trust, Jeffrey. 2 weeks later, Weston signed with Pinnacle, $4.2 million yearly. Headlines buzzed. That day, Thomas forwarded Vanessa's reassignment email. She's out as sales director. Hold on, because the payoff is just heating up. You have to hear this. 6 months later, Jeffrey's division hit 13.7 million, projecting 22 million. 8 of his old top 10 followed. Daniel approved expansions, champagne flowing. Jeffrey dialed into Triloque's earnings call. The CEO tense admitted underperformance, client attrition, maybe 20% lost. Analysts grilled about Weston. Silence, then DFLECTIO. An industry article broke tribbles. After key account exodus, quoting insiders on misunderstanding senior leadership value, Gabriella emailed begging for a job. Jeffrey smiled, numbers speaking louder than words. A year later, his division soared to 26.3 million. Team grown to 11 hints of a board seat. His desk photo showed a happy team built on trust. Then Vanessa appeared unannounced, now at a consulting firm seeking perspectives for a case study. "You made a miscalculation," he said flatly. She admitted his reputation for silent takedowns but got no absolution. He shredded her card. That evening with his daughter, promoted architect, he reflected. Works well. Building something lasting. Principles intact, do the work, keep promises, value relationships. And there it is, the climax. Vanessa pushed out a man she saw as outdated, only to watch him dismantle her world brick by brick. No lawsuits, no drama, just clients voting with their wallets. Jeffrey didn't gloat, he triumphed through excellence. Vanessa's panic at the coffee shop, her tired eyes in his office, her pleas for insights, it all hit like poetic justice. He felt the weight lift, validation washing over him after years of quiet undervaluation. Looking back, sometimes karma needs a nudge, but when revenge is this earned, it's pure satisfaction. Jeffrey proved trust isn't outdated, it's priceless. What a reminder that underestimating someone can cost you everything. If this tale of corporate karma fired, you up smash that like button, drop a comment with your own revenge story or the time you felt undervalued at work. Subscribe, turn on notifications for more stories that'll keep you hooked, and share this with anyone who's ever been dismissed. They'll thank you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.